Just relax. This is ASM Ripper. And today, how's that sound? Does that sound good? Does that sound good to you? Do you know what's coming? That's really good stuff. Whoop. Bam. Boom. Nailed it. Nailed it. Welcome back, everybody. Professional wrestler, comic book collector, video game enthusiast, Zach the Ripper Comics here. And on today's episode, we're going to take a look at Monday Night Raw. Some breaking news before Raw went on the air was that Zelina Vega was terminated from her contract just last week, and we found out that it was because she had her OnlyFans account and refused to shut it down or give proceeds to WWE, as she is on a contract, a talent contract with WWE as Zelina Vega, portraying herself as such on OnlyFans, charging people, keeping all of the money for herself. She challenged WWE and they responded by terminating her. Now, I have to be honest, there's a lot of different ways you can look at this, but at the end of the day, these contracts, the talent signed themselves over during that time period with WWE. Everything goes through WWE and their paychecks come from WWE. And WWE made this clear just a couple months ago that people either had to shut down their Twitch, their social network accounts, or hand them over to WWE, as everybody has been broadcasting as themselves under their WWE name. Now, it was just a few months ago that Zach the Ripper Comics let everybody know that WWE was requesting all of their talent, their signed, contracted talent, to turn over their social networking accounts, their OnlyFans, their Twitch, any of these services where they make money, like on Cameo, for instance, because they were portraying their WWE characters on all of these accounts, and WWE was not seeing the revenue from that. And you know what? WWE, while these folks are under contract, own and copyright their likeness and their names. So therefore, I don't feel that WWE is in the wrong, despite the fact that it may feel dickish. So last week I gave Monday Night Raw a lot of credit because although I didn't think everything was executed really well, the idea behind the show was that they were adding a lot more backstage segments other than the in-ring action, and over the past few years the in-ring action has had half-hour long matches, which is incredibly boring on weekly television. Save the big matches and the long matches for the pay-per-views, and it seems like that's the direction they're going. Fortunately for me as a viewer, as they've been weaving Drew McIntyre in and out of many different stories along with Randy Orton. So for instance, last week on SmackDown, Drew McIntyre showed up to tell Roman Reigns that he would be winning the championship from Randy Orton this Monday on Raw, the one that we're covering right here, right now, and that he will go on to challenge him at Survivor Series in the champion versus champion battle for brand supremacy match where no championship is on the line. Fast forward now to Monday night, and he's cutting a promo letting everybody know that he loves Thanksgiving. This was Diesel Big Daddy Cool 1995 worthy. Really, really bad execution. They're force-feeding him verbiage that they gave to Roman Reigns 5-6 years ago, and that's what turned the people on the guy. Stop doing this. Just let Drew be Drew. That's the guy that the live fans in attendance got behind, not this Tweety Bird Drew McIntyre. The Miz and John Morrison interrupt to let Drew know that whomever wins, he's going to cash in the Money in the Bank tonight, which means he's not. They're interrupted by Randy Orton, who has beef with obviously Drew McIntyre over the past couple months, and has beef with the Miz and John Morrison as they represent the very thing that could cost him the title. So all of this is weaved in and out. Backstage, we see Drew McIntyre run into Sheamus. They're old buddies. Again, last week I said I wish they had told the story better on television. They tried that this week, where Sheamus said that he spoke to Drew McIntyre's mom and was able to get a family heirloom chest Inside the chest is the kilt that Drew McIntyre once wore and the Claymore sword that his finisher is named after. We'd see Drew McIntyre wear the kilt to the ring in the main event tonight for the WWE Championship against Randy Orton and bring the sword out with him and then stab it into the ground, much like Mordecai, with a very, very cool entrance. And the match was fantastic. I know many people were bitching about it, the fact that they're sick of it. I'm sick of it too, but the fact of the matter is these two guys put on fantastic matches whenever in the ring together. They both look fantastic. They look like professional wrestlers. They both wear tights. They both wear boots. These are guys that you want in your main event and you want to get months and months out of. Drew McIntyre was able to overcome the odds in this and win back the WWE Championship that he lost 3 weeks ago at Hell in a Cell. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. So as you know, over the past 7 weeks, Lana has been bullied by Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and I finally got it right on one of these shows. And Lana has had enough. Lana says that she wants to join Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax here tonight to prove that she's good enough to hang with them. Basically, she's scared of being bullied yet again, so she wants to buddy up to the bullies, which is how future bullies are born. If you didn't know, it's not a stork. It's buddying up to the bully to create future bullies. She gets into a 6-woman tag. She's tagging with the tag champs, trying to prove herself to them. In this matchup, Shayna Baszler's storyline injures Mandy Rose, who's on the opposing team, along with her partner Dana Brooke and the Raw Women's Champion Asuka, because last week Nia Jax accidentally injured Mandy Rose for real in the tag team match last week, injuring her shoulder. So now Mandy Rose is out of action. Dana Brooke gets attacked backstage by Reckoning of Retribution, so she's taken out as well. This leaves Asuka, and Asuka's able to tap Lana out in the middle of the ring. She leaves. We find out that Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose will be replaced at Survivor Series by Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans. They broke up the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Bibby Kipsticks. I don't remember her name. Billy Kay. They broke them up so that they could put Peyton Royce with another tag team partner in Lacey Evans. Not understanding that. The match should be solid this Sunday at Survivor Series in the battle for brand supremacy, where no championships are on the line whatsoever. But following the match here tonight, Nia Jax, for the 8th week in a row, puts Lana through a table. Lana's going to eventually get her comeuppance. Everything will be fantastic. Moving on. This is a friendship that never ends as the Firefly Funhouse once again puts on some very entertaining stuff, and Alexa Bliss joins Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse, and they reveal that Bray Wyatt, not The Fiend, has been training for his opponent tonight, The Miz. I'll admit that it felt interesting having Bray Wyatt compete on WWE television, weekly television. Actually felt special, if I can use that word for 2020 professional wrestling, having the Bray Wyatt character training with the Firefly Funhouse to take on The Miz later tonight. Fantastic Firefly Funhouse again. Can't recommend those enough. As Alexa Bliss was coming out to introduce Bray Wyatt, Nikki Cross, her former tag team partner, once again tried to get her to leave The Fiend, to leave Bray Wyatt. Nikki Cross is trying to be a babyface here, but she just comes off as a nagging, annoying, like, just go away. Like somebody, a friend that you don't want anything to do with. Like a Chris Wilde, the host of Eagles News Now, right here on YouTube. Just go away, just get out. So she wants an answer, again, giving an ultimatum. It's never good to give anybody, especially somebody with the psyche of Alexa Bliss right now, an ultimatum. She flips out, attacks her. Here comes Bray Wyatt, and we're ready for the match against The Miz. Really good match here. Bray Wyatt gets the quick victory, however, and a really creative finish. He's in the corner. John Morrison's going to go to do something to him. Alexa Bliss leaps over the steps, jumps on the John Morrison. They're out of the equation. Miz runs into the corner with a clothesline that he does on everybody else. Bray Wyatt just looks at him, laughs, drags him out, hits the Sister Abigail. 1, 2, 3. Bray Wyatt wins. So now we've weaved in the Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Miz, Randy Orton, Miz, Drew McIntyre, Fiend, Randy Orton, Fiend, and now Bray Wyatt, Miz storyline. This was fantastic. I hope to see more of this, the weaving in and out moving forward. Rolling with the homies. In the other championship match advertised, it was the champions, the Raw Tag Team Champions, The New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, taking on the Hurt Business's Cedric Alexander and what's his name? Shelton Benjamin. Sorry, Sheldon. Before the match, the New Day makes sure to call the Hurt Business. Here we are, 2020. And this is after the 10 p.m. hour on cable television. They make sure to call the Hurt Business, get ready, the Jerk Business. The Jerk Business. Wow, the excellent dialogue, WWE, fantastic writing. The match was as average as the promo was. The New Day get the victory on Cedric Alexander, I believe it was. They retain the championships. They say they're the kings of tag team wrestling, and that this Sunday they will go on to beat the SmackDown tag team champions, the Street Profits. Backstage, AJ Styles, dressed in red, is trying to convince his Survivor Series team to stop bickering, stop arguing, stop calling each other names, basically act like you're adults and not 5-year-olds. And of course, AJ Styles, who secretly enjoys the bickering and the infighting between his team, says that this Sunday at Survivor Series, he needs everybody on the same page. So tonight, he has booked his partners in an 8-man tag team match against a team that everybody despises, Retribution. We then cut to AJ and his big buddy, who isn't going by the name of Jordan anymore, having some dialogue in which Jordan, his big buddy, was already used in a comedic way. I think this is way too soon to put him in a comedic role. He has good timing, fantastic. Let's build to it. Wrong move there. AJ Styles and Big Buddy are... just to say that. AJ Styles and his big buddy are ringside on commentary. Mustafa Ali's able to get the victory on Riddle because Riddle's just the absolute worst, as you know. And then Ali makes it clear that he may be coming for AJ Styles. AJ kind of ignores him and is really upset that his team's not getting along. Keep in mind that the past few weeks, ever since AJ qualified for the Survivor Series, all of his teammates have been getting into tag team matches or 3-ways or 4-ways with each other, and he's managed to keep himself on the outside of that. It's clear that he's only out for himself, that he does not care about the rest of the team, and we'll probably see a lot of that play out this Sunday at Survivor Series in the battle for brand supremacy. So the executors in this situation, Jeff Hardy and Elias, are involved in a promo up next. The executors are horrible, but the execution and the ideas behind the storylines are actually really good, as there's more continuity here than I've seen in recent WWE, as they're still continuing the SmackDown storyline from early this year, in which Elias was hit by a car. He's blaming Jeff Hardy for this despite the thousands of matches they've had on television. This feud is still going, so Jeff Hardy, who's the babyface, who I'm supposed to believe would not hit somebody, Elias the case here, with a car, threatens Elias's life if he continues to nag him about being the guy that hit him with a car. Why am I going to feel sympathy for the guy that didn't do it if he's threatening the life of the guy that's accusing him? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I don't care what justice system you're a part of. And lastly, we have Angel Garza, a man on an island to his own, the horniest guy in WWE right now, once again cutting a promo about how he's looking for the perfect woman and the perfect woman should be finding him, and really bad stuff. The guy needs a manager, and that is no more clear than now that he does not have Andrade, he does not have Zelina Vega, but as horny as he is, I'm sure he could probably find Zelina Vega on her OnlyFans, in which she's probably trying to get everything she can at this point since WWE terminated her. That's called a callback. What? He's not here? The camera's rolling. Dean Douglas isn't here. How am I supposed to grade Raw without Dean Douglas? How many times is he going to do this to us? Just because I beat his ass the last time we fought. Alright, well, it's running. Like, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? The camera's rolling. The show's on. Somebody's watching right now. You're going to... okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Yarnold, for the first time, is going to take over the duties of Dean Douglas and helping me grade the show. So, Yarnold, tell me, what were your thoughts on Monday Night Raw?
You assuming I'm a human, what I gotta do to get it through to you. I'm superhuman, innovative, and I made a rubber so that anything you say is ricocheting off of me to glue you. Devastating more than ever, demonstrating how to give a motherfucking audience a feeling like it's levitating, never fading. And I know the haters are forever waiting for the day that they can stay up all day be celebrating. Cause I know the way to get them motivated. I make elevated music, you make elevated music.
Are you serious?
Too mainstream. What they do it, they get jealous, they confuse it. It's not hip hop, it's pop. Cause I found a hella way to fuse it. We rock, shock rap with Doc.
I want to thank everybody on Patreon, my patrons on Patreon, for supporting and pledging to the channel. If you're not a part of this awesome little community, I urge you to at least go check it out. Depending on what tiers you pledge at, and what you get is free merchandise throughout the year. Every few months, I'm going to send you a hoodie, stickers, a poster, t-shirts, bags, all kinds of cool stuff for liking us on Facebook, finding us on Instagram, hitting up the eBay store for all of your comic book needs, going to the Teespring store for all the t-shirts and hoodies and fanny packs and leggings that you can buy. I very much appreciate that. That store is doing incredibly well. And last but not least, hitting the thumbs up on this video, dropping an elbow on that notification button so you know when I go live or when I throw a new video up. Subscribing to the channel as we are upwards and on our way to 2,000 subscribers. From Zach the Ripper Comics, from Yarnold, and from my Polar. We'll see you next time. Have you ever been caught with that local, gross, ugly, slippery, big-holed seltzer? You ever been caught? Or trying to go uppity and big time and getting one of those real expensive ones, Las Vegas or LaCroix? Don't do that. This is 2020, and we all know what we're drinking in 2020, and that's going to be Polar. We're rocking some lemon right now, as you can see. And anytime we're doing a Zach the Ripper Comics video, we're doing a Zach the Ripper Comics live stream, you can always bet on the fact that when I pound with Polar.